Waking up in another new location, I broke out the spey rod in the morning. Despite the fact that swinging flies isn't usually the most efficient way to catch trout, I love spey casting. And while I can spey cast in Iowa for warm water species, I don't get to do much spey casting for trout except when I'm in places like Montana or Alaska. So I try to cherish the opportunity. I tend to get lost in every cast, every swing, and yet am completely engulfed in anticipation for that grab. After another good night of family, friends, and food, it was once again time to add to the mileage count. A little mud on the tires and mud on the boots is never a bad thing. That familiar sagebrush lined the path to my next fishing holes. the fishing was tough. High sun overhead, I found a few, but low water didn't make things easy. Of course, our all-familiar mountain whitefish made a couple of appearances. After finding a nice hole, I hooked and lost a few fish. Disappointing for sure. A few trout then found their way to hand. The last one, I hooked it and I thought I was snagged, but then came the head shakes. More miles, more driving, one more destination. A tailwater that I don't get to fish nearly as much as I would like. The hills had been graced with some fresh snow, but the sun was bright overhead and it made for some tough fishing despite the warmth that it provided. And when I say the fishing was tough, it was real tough. Really, really tough. I managed one nice rainbow on a small nymph. But all I experienced beyond that for the first couple of hours was good wind gusts and tangled nymphs. In frustration, I figured that rather than catching nothing and getting nymphs tangled, I would rather catch nothing and fish a streamer that wouldn't get tangled. Of course, within 5 minutes of putting on a streamer, I had a fish on. One more nice brown came to hand on a streamer, and then I had to warm up after getting my bones chilled by that cold wind. After warming up, I vowed to catch a fish on the spey rod. So I casted, and casted, and casted, and casted, and casted. And that was it. Not a single grab, not a single bump. The fish were there. But you know what they say about spey casting? The hardest way to not catch fish. But the chance to sling the spey rod around is always worth the time and always worth the peaceful vibes that come along with it. One more time on the road, and finalizing that mileage count brought me back to the Midwest and to Iowa. To experience a place like Montana with its big sky, the clean water, and the ability to access public waters, it makes you wonder how things are in your state. What can I be doing to promote clean water and public access to public waters in my state? How can we preserve our natural resources for future generations in all of our individual states, not just places like Montana? And I hope that someday we can share its beauty with our kids by giving them the opportunity to see cleaner waters and more public access to public waters than their parents had.